Hey y'all, doing a so from you see from the title down below, you know what type of video this is going to be. Okay, and so I'll be talking about the death of my father and how it affected me, right? And what were the coping mechanism and how, if you are going through the same thing, it can help you. But before I do that, you know what to do. Hit that like and that share my way. Yeah. And hit that post notification bell so when I drop a video, you'll be the first to get it. Yes, Science will deliver to your doorsteps. You know it's your girl Nats Official. I will say fruits and vegetable, water and blend up. Never leave them because we say healthy lifestyle. Fruit and vegetable, water and blend up so you know what to do because I return stronger than before. So subscribe to the healthy lifestyle. So you know me, before I get into anything, I'm gonna bust a tune. Dark people, you don't know. So out of the light we so get it. So things so work out. You know, we gave birth, we're creeping now. So ring light, tripod, the works, everything soon sort out and we're good to gizzle, you know what I mean? But so I'm having a sit down and with you and just sharing a little bit of my life with you. So I lost my father, and I know a lot of persons may be out there who have lost someone, and it's not easy, right, to cope. So I'll be telling you a little bit of how it affected me, you know, when he passed away, all of that. What were some of the things that I did to cope? I don't think in the earlier years I coped well, but over time it became easier, and that is okay. You know, when you're grieving, there's no right and wrong way to grieve. There's no manual. There's nothing really to show you or tell you how to act, how to react, how to cope or whatever. It's based on individual, yeah. And you know, your girl always got you. So yeah, I would want to believe he's in a better place. I would hope that he made it right with God, and I hope that I live my life so if he made it right and will see God's face, I hope that I will make it right and see God's face also, so that I can see him again. He went pretty early, but before we get into that, make we get into this, yeah. Been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. So growing up, I heard a lot of good things about my father. He was not perfect, but I heard that he took very good care of us. Yeah. So I specifically chose that track because I would love to see him again. I heard that he took really good care of us, financially. He was a hard worker, and so I would love to see him again, so I chose that track. Now, where to start? So my father passed away when I was pretty young. Some would say, why would it affect you? He passed away when I was about to turn 3 years old. And at that stage, if you take a child who is at that level and you play out a scenario in front of them, and you put an adult in the same situation and you play out that scenario in front of them, you will find that the child will remember what took place more than the adult. They will remember vividly. So memories that I have of my father, I remember one Sunday I was in full white because my father loved when we ear comb and nice things and all of that. And I was in full white. It was a Sunday. I remember bits and pieces of it, and because I was always reminded of him, I was always allowed to speak about him, so it stuck with me. Maybe if they didn't talk about it, I wouldn't remember, right? So it's important for us to, when anybody dead and gone, nothing is wrong to talk about them, even if you feel like it's gonna hurt. It's okay. If you feel like you're going to cry, it's okay, right? So nothing is wrong. So I was allowed to always talk about it, and so that kept his memories alive, the little that I had anyways. Yeah. Yeah, so that memory, I was in white. I wanted to go with him. He took me for my little Sunday walk, as I was told he would always do. And I and he came back and he wanted to leave, and I wanted to go with him. And then he decided that he's going to take me for another walk, but I was crying to go to my school. I was going to a little prep school, preschool, whatever you want to call it, and I was crying to go there, but he was going elsewhere. And me in a full white people, and me, say girl throw down herself a ground. Who know about that throw down a ground and ball something there? Yeah, say you know to do it if you have a Jamaican or a Caribbean parent. So me take my enough self. Me hear say my father never let me yet. I'm gonna have a memory about that one time. Say girl take herself through herself a ground in a full white, all white sneakers and white socks, cause them time the people went past Sunday, your well bubbles up and look nice, and you dress up, in your Sunday best, who no. Say girl throw down herself a ground and a roll. Dirty up myself, and my father tell me forget up, I get up. And people, I remember that vividly, and I was allowed to speak about it, to speak about him. So the little memory them mama have, them not leave me because of that. Because over and over I was reminded, over and over there were stories we spoke about him and all of that. So girl throw down herself, clean a ground, dirty up and all these things. Say my father take a comb. Never forget. And what me pa my hand. You see, look when give me every single comb teeth print out. Me not exaggerate people. Every single comb teeth. So I remember that about him. But my father take care of girl. Yeah, me did love banana. Green banana, red banana. My father buy the banana by the bunch for me. Not buy the honey by the bunch. So a good father me I tell him about. Yeah, when me I talk, good father. People me don't know, come like me I go through menopause. Me just act so. No some I ever act. Although me reach the old age, for go through menopause. But trust me, no man. Girl really I go through menopause. So so my father, though he was not perfect based on stories told and all of that, he was a man for his children and all of that. And You know, with anything, it's met with challenges, but I heard good things about him, and there were other things that wasn't so good, but it's not nothing worth to kill nobody, and so I rather keep the good memories that I heard about him alive and the little bit I remember. Yeah. People must so hot. And my son him all my ear, and may I tell you, yeah, turn it down and give me a little bit, please. Turn it down. What is it? Go and sit down. Yeah, peeps. So, um, so it was based on what I heard, a great individual. So rewind. Let's rewind to when he died. Let's rewind to when he died. So my brother and I, we were at home. So he took sick. Just suddenly, he went out and he just took sick. And so he took sick. It's a bit emotional for me, people. So I'm trying to, keep it together, but I feel like I have to share it because you are my family, and as I say, your girl always have your back. So whatever way, shape or form I can help you, encourage you to cope. So every time it's all about gimmicks. Sharing a little bit about me will help others. There are a lot of persons out there who are going through similar situations, and even just last week I learned of a colleague's parent, mother passing, and you don't really know what to say to those individuals. You don't really know how to approach them, and because I have experienced it, even though I was a child when it happened, but it followed me throughout my adult life, and it was when I became an adult I was able to cope better. So this is why I felt the need to do this. And remember, the channel is all about reality. It's all about little pranks, little challenges. It's a mixture, yeah, little vlogs, all of that. It's a mixture just to tap into every little area, to give everyone a taste of what they like. Yeah, a lot of persons, they want to be encouraged at times, and every time I'll gimmicks and the whole playing and all of that. So he fell ill, and don't do that, Xavier. He fell ill, and so my mother had to go to work, and my brother and I, we were at home. My brother was old enough, and as I said, I was almost 3. So girly absence, yeah, girly absence. So he was on the bed, he was not eating at all, and there was no chimney, yeah. It was a green chimney, I never forget. And this is the part that always gets me every time, and this is not to make anyone weak. It is not to show weakness. It just shows that we are human and we have emotions. Some days you will smile, some days you will cry. I have grown because I am now able to speak on it without just bawling. You used to just bawl, girl, just sit down and bawl. I'll come birthday, Lord Jesus, but just bawl and this is not to make anyone sad, as I said before, and it's not to make me sad by any chance. I have grown, because one time I could do this. I could sit down and really hold a conversation about my father. So my brother was outside. Both of us were outside. I was at his bedside with him, and the chimney was there. You know him always just feel like he want to throw up and something. So it was there. And I was at his bedside, and then I went outside, and my brother was sweeping, and I was there helping him, and I hear my father called for me. And when he called for me, I ran into the house, and when I went in there, I saw his dry heaves. Now I understand it. I didn't understand it then. I just saw him going like and he had his head over the bed, and he was trying to like bring up something to spit in the chimney, but he was unable to. Nothing was coming out. So I said, "Daddy, you alright? Daddy. I said, "Daddy, you alright?" And him saying, "Want water." And I quickly ran outside, and I call my brother, I call him by his name, and I said, "Daddy say him want look water, Daddy say him want look water." And my brother said, "Alright, him come." Him drop the broom, and I ran back inside, because I realized what was happening. I didn't know he was dying, but I realized that he was struggling and he needed the water. This breaks my heart, because when I went in back, he was not responding. I push him, I shake him, I said, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy." Yeah, so I say, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, you don't want the water, Daddy, you don't want the water." And he was not responding. My brother came in, and he was shaking him too. We were trying to wake him. And it was at that point, when I saw my brother's face, I realized that something was wrong. I didn't understand death at that time. And he quickly went outside. There was a neighbor, and he called. I didn't leave my father's side. He called the neighbor, and he said, call my mother, please call my mother." And you know, because she was at work and all of that. And so from there we learned that he died. I remember going to his funeral and just saw him in the casket. And as I said, take a child. These are things I remember, and I didn't forget, because my family ensured I didn't forget. They always talk about him, they run joke about him, they always trouble me. And say, every time Daddy pick me up and I come home from school, and they say, "Natty, where you eat for lunch?" And I always say, "Meat and rice." So if I can't beef, them give me. If I callaloo, them give me. If I chicken foot. If I turkey neck, if I beef, anything them give me, say meat and rice. If I porridge, me get meat and rice. If I soup, me get meat and rice. And they would always joke about it. They would ask me about the funeral, everything. So I didn't forget. And I remember at the funeral, they said, bring the child. That's the youngest one, which was me. And one person was on one side, and another gentleman on the other side, and they threw me over it 3 times. Now when I got older, I realized that was, I think it's a myth, but that was so the doping of Falayan, whatever. But I don't think there's any truth to that. I don't believe in those things, but that is what was done, right? And yeah, so I remember little things about him. He had a lot of hair on his head, so our skin eerie. I know my eyebrow come like say it now grow back to me this shave it, but my eyebrow did enough. Yeah, I'm a dead stamp of my father. People will say me I'm a sister, my brother, so resemble my mother, but we dead stamp of our father if you see him. I because my father passed away, he had a lot of kids, and I made contact with a few of them, but I believe because of his death, and I met them when I was an adult, and I will tell you more about that in another sitting. So this was just a sit down to give you. So I wasn't coping well when I was younger. I would always want to be with my father. I would always want him to come back for me, and all. Then they always say, you know, if you ask for dead people come back for you, because then we come back for you for true. But I was at a dark place. I just couldn't understand why my father did have to leave me. All when Father's Day come, I just couldn't cope. And when I went to Shartu Teachers College, Maninga Mama, my language teacher, she did something wonderful. She was there to teach us language, you know, pronunciation, diction, and volume, and all of that. But she took the time, and I want to say thank you, Miss. I don't even remember her name, but for those who know, you know. And she took the time to say whatever it is that is bothering you, unleash, talk about it, and whatever. If you want to cry, if you want to scream. And I remember being in that hall where we would always have principal's option, and we were just able to express what it is, some secret, whatever it is that you feel like you had to get out. And that day that me ball, I say my ball. When she asked me when she reached me and she asked me, I'ma tell her what really are the biggest thing where affect me, where hold me back. I tell you, after that day, I was able to talk about my father's death. I was able to understand that there's a need to grieve. I was able to understand it's okay to talk about him. It's okay to keep his memory alive. And so I'm telling someone today, it's hard, but guess what? If you feel like ball, if you feel like talk about them. If people will not understand, but if they extend themselves, yeah, you just take it and move right along. Healing does not come overnight, yeah. So understand that first. Healing is a process, and that's so. So as I said before, there's no right and wrong way to grieve. There's no manual when it comes down to grieving. It was hard for my mother. Ever since he died, and that Sunday when he came into the death section, you know, the classified, the post, the death announcement and memorials, and so ever since that Sunday, she, for years from that day forward, she kept wanting only that section and looking at it. So it took its toll. She has stopped only since COVID, and we are unable to get the gleaner readily, you know, because we're not really out there, and the gleaner person not passing like that again. But every time she would take that section, and she would always, and so it was hard for her. And it is hard when you, especially when Father's Day roll around and you see others with their father, your kids are unable to meet and greet and talk about their grandfather. So it's a hard road for anyone. And I share this, a lot of persons will say, why you share your life story or whatever. I want to do this. It has nothing to do with anyone. I want to do it. I want to share it because I feel like sometimes persons are out there going through the same thing. It was a real struggle for years. I remember when I turned 18 years old, I just didn't want to live. I didn't want to leave it. And it my mother was wonderful. My mother was a wonderful mother and father to us. And but it wasn't that, it was just a piece of me was missing. At that point I didn't even know my family members. So many had things had happened, and the distance and all of that, person's overseas and everything. So I didn't, there was something missing. You wanted that connection, and there's something, a longing. And so when I turned 18, I sat on my veranda and I saw my brother-in-law, and I was just crying. And my brother-in-law said to me, "Why are you so worried?" And I said, "Because my father didn't, I'm now an adult, and my father didn't get a chance to see me grow up. He didn't see the young lady that I have become. He didn't see that work that he would have put in for the foundation that here I am now." And though I thank my mother and I appreciate all that she has done, and my older siblings, there was just this emptiness that I could not understand why I couldn't fill it with whatever. There was, no matter how happy I would get, that sadness would always come back. And so I sat there, and he told me the story of the man who was about to kill himself. And he went up in the tree, tied a rope around his neck, and then him eat the banana, throw down the peel, and somebody pass and eat the banana skin. And him realized that somebody out there worse off on him. So that was then me kind of have a turning point and start see things little bit a bit different. But I'm telling you, when I went to Chartwood, that was the biggest turning point for me. And I realized that why dwell in the past, though I will miss my father and I would want him to be here, I can keep his memory alive, keep his legacy going, but I should appreciate those around me, those I am able to live with, I am able to see on a daily basis. I should just grasp that opportunity with both hands, because I cannot get that opportunity to tell my father I love him. I did not get the opportunity to give him that cup of water before he left. I just wanted to hug him and let him know that I love him, but I couldn't do that. I cannot do that. But for those who are around me, I am able to do that. And so my Maninga teacher, we call her Miss Maninga, because of those little things that we did and what she would say. But that was the real turning point for me. And so you see, even when people see me when people see me defend my mother to the core, them just not understand. Them just not understand. Them just not understand. Because my mother fight for we. My mother, I watch my mother go low and come right back up to high. I watch my mother single-handedly take care of we till we reach your son. So when you hear me say I make no apology when I defend my mother against anybody. If I'm my sibling, then I go defend my mother against them. If a police, if I God alone, I not go against, because I know say I know the right thing. But when you see me defend my mother against anybody, I don't care what. That is why my mother stand up in a fire for we. She walk through it barefoot for we. I watch my mother go to her lowest. And she fight same way. When you see she there low, she not make you feel like she there low. And you see it as a child. I will never go to bed hungry yet. At one time I go to my bed and not eat, and I can't, me never want to eat what she prepare. Here, when I tell you that my mother give you the best of the best. We are get roast beef, Alex, Milo. We know the luxury life. We know it. And me I tell you say, you see, when a man see me defend my mother, and when a man see me come out on Father's Day and say big up to my father and post my mother, and I say me not big up my father, I hardly knew him, and I appreciate the times that I spent with him and what I heard he did for us and everything, and he was a loving person. And you know, nobody not perfect, so I'm having local side, him local ways and whatever, and I appreciate all of it. I'm take a lot of him when I look at my mother and I look at my father's side of people them. But when I see me defend my mother, I not apologize to nobody. People chat me feet, people chastise me. If you hear my mouth open, and me be a brawling and raucous for my mother. Me even push up my pitney them, and I love my kids them. And you see me, if me be a brawling, no say for my mother's sake. And don't matter we say me miserable and whatever and them something there, but good like that. Anyway, the people say I go eat up on their mother fractal forever, because it's like if I dey road and I buy one juice, I can't drink it. I have to carry home for my mother. I have to carry, if I want, I can buy, I have to carry it home and split it. As somebody my mother and so she deal with me. So, may I tell somebody today, be encouraged. When you just get one cut, it's not just better overnight. So, losing a loved one is like that. You get a cut and it have to take it time to go at it first, then it have to take time and close up and you have to dress it and bathe it and look up post go come out, and it take time and it heal up until the scab and it starts scratchy until the scar I got there still. Yes, so the scar is there of that memory when I watched my father took his last breath and I was unable to give him his water, but I take courage that I was only a child and I did what I knew how to, right? The best thing I could do, I did it. So I was guilty for a long time until I started looking at it from a different perspective. So today I'm telling you, look at it from a different perspective. For those who are alive today in your life, tell them you love them, hug them, kiss them, have fun. And that is why when we see people we lose to a parent, I go all out for them. But let me tell you something, sometimes I go all out for people, and because you're not perfect and because you may fuss about that and say whatever, or you fuss say you have to do your schoolwork or you have to do this, people take it and them twist it. So you will be good 99% of the time, and them say yeah and them lift you up on a pedestal. But you see the 1% where you're not good, them take it and them break you down, tear you down, because and them not remember the 99 good way you did do. But I will always fight. You see Pitney, I love Pitney. I love Pitney and I fight for them. But I'm not going to make no Pitney go around me. And I'm not going to try and make see you go down the bad road and don't try to steer in the right direction. Yeah? And so I will always fight for persons, especially kids, where I know say lose a parent because I know what it was like. And enough time, sometimes you're in some situation and you want to give up because you feel like you do your best. I've been in situation like that and I just never give up. But at the end of the day, people deal with your way and make it seem like you were all bad. But now watch your face. Whoever is around you, love them same way. Even if you have to love them from a distance, pray for them same way. Ask God to cover them, wish them all the best. Yeah? But sometimes you have to love them from a distance. Sometimes you all cannot be in the same setting to love each other. Sometimes you have to be apart and we have to accept that. So I've reached a place where yeah, that is it. So I just want to tell somebody, be encouraged. The time where you have to spend with somebody, the time where you have to love them, tell them that you let them know that you love them. No matter how them treat you, no matter if you feel like you give all and them throw the water in your face, still be you, still love them. And so that if it is that they go or you go, at least you would have known that you expressed your love to them, that you helped where you could have, and then you would have peace. So you don't know, it's your girl signing out. This is kind of somber mood. It's not the chirpy, bubbly me, but experience. I just experienced death. For the last 3 weeks, I have been hearing about quite a few deaths. One of my childhood friend, we grew up and we used to go to school together. You know, everybody turned big people and we're distant. But her brother passed away. Their brother passed away, and it was his son who found him dead. And it just sparked so many things in me that brought me back to this place. And so I can only imagine what he's going through as a child. And I said to them, you know, you need to get counseling and all of that for him, because it's going to be hard, because I know what it can be like, a very depressing state of mind. And I thank my family. So thank you, because there were high days and there were low days, and my family stuck by me. They were there. So you don't know, we say fruits and vegetable, water and blend up. Yeah, hit that post notification bell, so when I drop a video you'll be the first to get it. Give this video a big thumbs up, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, share it around the world and make it come back right here. So yeah, so that, and if you're new, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel. Okay, I'm out.